Greetings, every peoples. This is your cult of personality, ToonKriticY2K's. The name Toons are the name of my game, and today I am looking at X-Men Days of Future Frickin' Past. Okay, I saw this movie yesterday, and I loved it. I am a big X-Men fan of the movies. Just the movies, not so much of the cartoons. I thought, the original was at best, and Evolution was okay, but I love me some X-Men movies. I love me some Wolverine. I love me some Storm. I love me some, what's-her-face, the one that can go through walls that apparently has time-traveling abilities now. I love them all. Days of Future Past is set at the end of the X-Men timeline. Now, I've noticed that X-Men has decided to bounce back and forth between the past and the present. They've started talking about, how Xavier and Magneto met with, their First Class movie. So we went from First Class to Origins Wolverine to 1, 2, and 3, X-Men, X2, and X-Men The Last Stand, and then the Wolverine. Why is Wolverine the main focus? I get that he's the most marketable and the most badass. He's the fan favorite, but isn't Cyclops the leader of the X-Men? I could have swore he was. Oh well, I can't keep up with that. Days of Future Past is a sequel to Last Stand and First Class, and what it focuses on is that there are these robots called the Sentinels who have showed up in the present and are hunting down mutants. They have the ability to adapt to mutants, and it all started back in 1970 whatever when Mystique killed this dude named Trask who created the Sentinels. She got captured, and actually, I'm not going to spoil it. I'll just say that there was an event that happened back in time that pretty much screwed over all the mutants. And how are they going to fix this problem? Time travel. Because that solves everything, right? You've seen Doctor Who, you've seen Back to the Future, you know what time travel does. About 80% of the time, it doesn't really work. They send Wolverine back in time for reasons, and it's up to him to find Xavier, his younger self, and bring together the X-Men again so they can stop the Sentinels from ever being created and thus ensuring their future, and thus timeline changes and all this other stuff. Now, I'll get this part out of the way first. One of the biggest complaints that fans have of this movie is that the timeline gets, excuse my language, gangbanged and then thrown across to the side of the floor like a used condom. As we know, First Class, Origins Wolverine, 1, 2, and 3, and the Wolverine. That's our timeline. According to this now, according to the end of the movie, Origins Wolverine, 1, 2, 3, and the Wolverine never happened. Because time travel just completely changed everything from ever happening. Jean Grey didn't die. Cyclops didn't die. The Phoenix never happened. Trask was probably never going to be able to create the Sentinels. The Sentinels don't exist. Everybody is safe. And then, friggin' spoilers, I know. I said I wouldn't do spoilers, but at the end, we get a hint at Apocalypse. And I don't know much about Apocalypse. I'm not a comic book fan, so I wouldn't know. But my friend was, freaking out. He's just like, oh my god, Apocalypse, oh my god. But good for you. I have no idea what Apocalypse is. But that's our next movie, Apocalypse, coming out next year. So, the timeline has been effectively rewritten. We're starting with, I guess, the third movie in the trilogy now. Because we had First Class, then Days of Future Past, and now, Apocalypse. So, all those movies, that started all this, just got gone. Never happened. At least as far as we know. Because the timelines could change. Never mind. I'm not going to get into this. I'll just move past that. What really matters here is the action and the story. There is a lot of great action in this, and it doesn't feel overplayed like a visual... wow, I almost screwed it up. Like a visual effects orgy of masterpiece-ness. I know that sounds weird, but just follow me on this. They focused a lot more on the characters, on the story, and that was really good because if you're an X-Men fan, if you've seen all of the movies leading up to this, it feels really great to see all these characters come so far. They make past references to themselves, all this time travel stuff. It's really, really cool when young Xavier meets his older self. You know, fans have been waiting for that shit to happen for a long time. And it's really cool to see. There's so many moments here that leave you wondering, okay, what's going to happen? This movie wasn't predictable. I also want to say that. This wasn't predictable. I had no idea what was going to happen. That's a sign of a good story if you don't even know what's going to happen. I mean, I figured that they would fix the timelines and stuff, but I didn't know how. They made Mystique a really important character in this, and I was surprised because Mystique did some cool stuff in the past, but all of a sudden now, oh, bam, like one of the main characters, which is cool because on the poster, as you can like see, she's like right behind Wolverine, and Wolverine's the bad boy. He's the fan favorite. Yada yada. It was really cool seeing the First Class cast interact with Wolverine and their past selves. Wow, future selves. I am really interested to see what happens next. I don't want to go into huge details on like specific parts of the movie, but oh man, young Xavier and young Magneto, don't make me choose between old and past and whatever versions of themselves. They are really good. They are some of my favorite X-Men characters. Putting together all the good ones and having them go through time to, you know, sort of mix and match with their past selves, that's cool. Throwing in cameos, that's cool. Doing a lot of other stuff, that's cool. But I know this is one tiny spoiler, and this is one of the last things I want to say. According to this movie, Magneto is implicated in the death of JFK. And supposedly JFK was a mutant. Okay. That's going to piss off a lot of people. A lot of people. From now on, I'm just going to say this. Whenever I go to some conspiracy meeting about JFK, I'm going to hear people saying, oh, there was a second person on the grassy knoll. Oh, he was like upstairs on the rooftop. He was shooting from a different angle. And I'm just going to be sitting there with my hand up like, Magneto did it. That's it. Magneto did it. He curved the bullet. I made that joke. We almost got kicked out of the theater for laughing at that, me and my friend. So I thought that was cool. But overall, Days of Future Past was a really great movie. I think it's probably the best movie in the X-Men series. And yeah, if you're not an X-Men fan, I actually would recommend trekking through all these movies to get to this point. Because I have a feeling with Apocalypse, we're going to get a lot more, oh my god, what the frig is going on sort of moments. Anyway, that's just my take on X-Men Days of Future Past. I give it a pretty solid 9 out of 10. Like I said, best X-Men movie I've seen. And yeah, cannot wait for more awesomeness. So yeah, this is TKY2K. I like that, TKY2K. You know, it sounds a little bit like an abbreviation for a H-bomb or something. You know, send in the TKY2K. Or, wow, I'm probably going to cut that out. That was stupid. That was just really